The question is often asked about the history of celibacy, that the bishops and the priests who were ordained in the various churches, did they have from the beginning of the church to be celibate? It was clear that this thing developed gradually. And as you know, most of the apostles, or some of the apostles, were married people. The Bible tells us about Peter's mother-in-law who was sick, and Christ went to heal him, and she ministered to them. So even after the resurrection of Christ and after the foundation of the church, the apostles saw that if they really wanted to be like Jesus, who was unmarried and who gave himself totally to the church, celibacy was an indispensable quality which priests were to have. But it took some time, it took quite some time in the various regional churches before celibacy was imposed, especially on the Western Church. The Eastern Church still has ministers who are married and who are also Catholic in union with the Pope. But they have the law that once you are a married person and you receive ordination, if your wife dies, you cannot remarry again. This is another way of saying that the priest or the bishop should be total in giving himself to God. And St. Paul, even in a very explicit way, says the married personnel, the married people, are concerned about their partners, married partners, and the children. But if you accept to be celibate, then your main concerns are about serving God and making yourself available at all times for the purposes of God. And so this is how the struggle to keep the church administered by celibate priests and bishops grew. And the argument which was kind of very leading was that if you have to handle, the one who has to handle the body and blood of Christ and make it present to all people should be totally undivided.